Okay, right. So first of all I will read the question, then by analyzing this question I will sketch a diagram and afterwards I will erase it for the space. Okay, just look at the problem. See, if the angle of elevation of a cloud from a point P, okay, see the problem is about a cloud and the angle of elevation of the cloud from a point P which is 25 meters above a lake be 30 degrees. So actually the question involves with a lake and at a point P which is 25 meters above that lake. For suppose if you treat this as a lake, actually there is a lake but we need to treat the surface as in the horizontal line. Okay, this is a lake for just as a representation I took like this. Okay, but we need to consider this surface of the lake as a horizontal plane, right? So a point P is there which is 25 meters above the lake. Okay, this is completely lake. For our understanding I just represent it like this. Okay, right. So from a point P which is 25 meters above the lake, the angle of elevation to the cloud. So somewhere there is a cloud here. Okay, somewhere there is a cloud here. So from this point P to the cloud, the angle of elevation is given as 30 degrees. That's the question. Okay, the angle of elevation of a cloud from a point P which is 25 meters above the lake is 30 degrees. So I need to indicate that. So this particular distance is given as 25 meters and the angle of elevation to the cloud. Angle of elevation in the sense angle between the line of sight along with the horizontal. So this angle is 30 degrees. So up to that it is okay. And the angle of depression to the reflection of cloud in the lake from P be 60 degrees. Okay, since this is a lake, see this is the cloud and this is the lake, you will see observe the reflection of this cloud somewhere in the water. Okay, so you just treat it as again a cloud which is the reflection of that original cloud. So you will observe that reflection in the water. See the angle of depression, since we are looking downward to observe that the reflection of the cloud. See this the line of sight is now from this point P to the reflection of the cloud is like this, and this angle of reflection, see depression to the reflection, angle of depression to the reflection of the cloud is mentioned as 60 degrees. Then we need to find the height of the cloud from the surface of the lake. See this is the surface of the lake and from this surface of the lake we need to find the height of the cloud. So if you say this height as some h, this h we need to find. Okay, once again just look at the problem. Once again I will read it for you. The angle of elevation, so elevation in the sense looking upward to the cloud is 30 degrees from a point P which is 25 meters above the lake, and we need to observe the reflection of the cloud in the water. Somewhere it is there in the water, the reflection of the cloud, and you are observing that reflection of the cloud looking downward. So there an angle of depression is forming and that angle of depression is given as 60 degrees. So at the end the question is asking us to find the height of the cloud from the surface of the lake. That's the problem, a question from the mains 2019. I will erase the question. So the diagram is this. So by analyzing the diagram now, we need to calculate the value of h by applying different trigonometric ratios to the right angle triangles formed in the diagram. Okay. Now the problem is somewhat different when compared with the other. Why? Because here the problem involves with the reflection of a cloud in the water. See, as we know, reflections are just at the same distance. Okay, reflected image is at the same distance of the original object. Since this total distance is h, you need to consider this total distance is also h. Okay, just observe that this distance is 25 meters as given, and that's why when you join this horizontal line, okay, it meets somewhere here. So this particular part is again 25. This is also 25. Since this is 25, what you say about this part? That part is total h minus 25. Okay, I need to calculate h. So you just apply tan for this triangle once, and then apply tan for this triangle. So in applying tan, I need two sides actually. opposite and adjacent, but I don't know this adjacent side length, okay, this length. So you just let that length as some d, okay, for some time. Take it as d. When you apply tan for the upper triangle, see, for the angle of elevation, tan 30 degrees is equals to side opposite to 30 degrees is this particular part. Okay, what you say about this part? This length is h and this part is 25. Then this black color indication is simply h minus 25 divided by d, opposite side by adjacent side, that is tan 30 degrees. Okay, and then you just apply tan 60 degrees now. See, tan 60 degrees is again opposite side of 60. See, this 60 is an angle of this right angle triangle when you observe. See, from the surface of the lake to the reflection, the distance is h, but from the surface to this particular point, the distance is 25. So the total distance is h plus 25. So tan 60 degrees is equals to h plus 25 by d. We need to find h, height of the cloud from the surface of the lake. So we need to eliminate d. So for that you just replace this tan 30 degrees and tan 60 degrees. The value of tan 30 degrees is what? 1 by root 3, and the value of tan 60 degrees is what? Root 3. So you just do cross multiplication. So from the first one, this is 1 by root 3, right? When you do cross multiplication, d into 1 is d is equals to h minus 25 into root 3. And from this is just root 3. So from here, d is again is equals to h plus 25 by root 3. Okay. So this tan 60 degrees is root 3. Root 3 is equals to h plus 25 by d. So d is h plus 25 by root 3. I don't need d, I need h. So equalize these two, get the value of h. Okay. Therefore, yeah, what we have? H plus 25 divided by root 3 is equals to h minus 25 into root 3. So send this root 3 that side. What will happen? H plus 25 is equals to root 3 into root 3 is 3. So 3h minus 325 is 75. Send that 75 this side, h that side. At the end you will have 2h is equals to 100 and h is equals to 50. So your answer is 50. So what is that 50? That 50 is the distance of the, otherwise height of the cloud from the surface of the lake. Okay, once again look at the problem. This is actually the surface of the lake. This is cloud. This is the point of observation. From this point to the cloud, the angle of elevation is 30. From this point to the reflection of the cloud, angle of depression is 60. So from the surface of the lake, see angle of the height of the cloud as well as the height of the deflection will be same, and that's why you just take it as h as well as that is also h. Just apply tan for the two angles, one for the elevation and other for the depression, like this. Eliminate d, get the value of h, and your answer is 50. So the height of the cloud from the surface of the lake is 50 meters. There ends the problem. Vertical tower. As I mentioned you, first of all I will read the question. You just pay attention on the question, and then by analyzing the question we are going to sketch the diagram. After that diagram we need to solve the problem according to the requirement. Okay. First of all, you just observe that question. The angle of elevation of the top of a vertical tower standing on a horizontal plane is observed to be 45 degrees from the point A on the plane. Let B be the point 30 meters vertically above the point A. If the angle of elevation of the top of the tower from B is 30 degrees, then the distance of the foot of the tower from the point A is dash. That's what we need to find. Okay. Once again I will read the question, but this time while reading I will write the required information on the board. That in the sense I am going to sketch the diagram. Okay. Just have a look. So the angle of elevation of the top of a vertical tower standing on a horizontal plane. That in the sense there is a horizontal plane. Okay, I will write. There is a horizontal plane. On this horizontal plane, see, a vertical tower is standing. for suppose if you treat this as the vertical tower standing on the horizontal plane, as we discussed, those towers and the plane, every buildings and everything are just perpendicular to the base horizontal surface. Okay, this is the horizontal plane, that in the sense earth surface, and if you treat it as a vertical tower, right? Then as per the question, the angle of elevation to the top of the vertical tower is 45 degrees, is observed from a point A on the plane. For suppose if you have a point A, okay, somewhere here on the plane, from this point if you observe to the top of the tower, this angle of elevation, as they mention, it as 45 degrees, right? And then the continuation, let B be the point 30 meters vertically above the point A. So from this A you need to move vertically above, okay? So somewhere vertically above that A, I have another point B, right? So 30 meters vertically above. So this distance from A to B is mentioned as 30 meters. So from A 30 meters above we have point B, right? And then the angle of elevation to the top of the tower from this point B is given as 30 degrees. Again you need to look the top of the tower from the point B. Now this time the angle of elevation is given as 30 degrees. Since the angle of elevation from B is 30 degrees, so angle of elevation is the angle between the line of sight with the horizontal. You need to imagine a horizontal line at this B, and as they mentioned, this angle is 30 degrees. Okay. Now our task is to find the distance from the foot of the tower unto the point A. This is the foot of the tower. Okay. For the tower it is the foot, and this is the point A. So if you treat this tower as some PQ, PQ is the tower in our problem. So we need to calculate the distance from foot of the tower to the point A. You just take the distance as D, and that D we need to calculate. Once again, you just analyze the problem and then it is easy to solve. Just have a look. There is a vertical tower on the earth surface, and from a point A I am just observing the top of the tower with an angle of elevation 45 degrees. Again, if I move 30 meters above of that point A, vertically above as they mentioned, okay, just I moved up 30 meters. Then from this B, if I observe the top of the tower, this time the angle of elevation is 30 degrees. At the end, our task is to find this D, which is the distance between this observer A, the observer point A, to the foot of the tower P. That distance we need to calculate. The problem is very simple. So the main concept is completely based on the question as well as sketching a suitable diagram, a perfect diagram for the given problem, right? So now you just, this is 30 degrees, right? This is the horizontal line. You just extend it. It meets the tower somewhere at this point. Okay, yeah. This distance is given as 30 from A to B. Since this distance is given as 30, when you draw a horizontal, okay, this distance also will become 30. Okay, this is also 30. Our intention is to find D actually. Okay, right. So first of all, you just apply. You just take this point as some R now, no problem. If you take this point as R by drawing a parallel to the earth surface or the horizontal plane, so since this distance is D, it is very clear that BR is also D. Okay. Now first of all, you just look at the diagram, triangle APQ. Triangle APQ. Okay. When you look at the triangle APQ, for this triangle APQ, if you apply tan 45 degrees, what will happen? Tan 45 degrees is equals to opposite side divided by the adjacent side. Opposite side is the total length QP. Okay, QP divided by this adjacent side is D. And we know tan 45 degrees is 1. So QP by D. So QP is simply D. So this is one part what I have in my hands. That D actually I need to find. And then now you just apply tan for this triangle BRQ. Okay, you just look at the diagram. For the triangle PRQ, if you apply tan 30 degrees is equals to, again opposite side is this QR. Okay, that QR divided by BR, adjacent side is again the same D. And we know tan 30 degrees is 1 by root 3. 1 by root 3 is equals to QR by D. And what is QR? QR is equals to D by root 3. I have QR as D by root 3 and QP as D. But what you say about PR? PR is 30, right? Now you just go with that. Now from the diagram we have PR is equals to 30. Since PR is equal to 30, that PR is nothing but PQ minus QR is equals to 30. Is it right? The total length PQ minus QR is directly PR, which is 30. And I found the PQ as D from the first triangle. So D minus, and I found QR from the second triangle as D by root 3. D minus D by root 3 is equals to 30. So if that D minus D by root 3 is equals to 30, with the usual simplification we need to get the value of D. You just common out D and simplify something, okay? How can I simplify? I will use this place D times, okay, when I common out this 1 minus 1 by root 3, which is nothing but root 3 minus 1 divided by root 3 is equals to 30. I need to calculate D, which is the distance between the foot of the tower to the point A. So if you calculate that D is equals to, when you send this that side, 30 root 3 divided by root 3 minus 1. This is D actually. And further if you need, you just multiply both numerator and denominator with root 3 plus 1. Okay. So I have no space there. For that I will use this space. Okay. No problem. From the continuation I will do here. D is equals to 30 root 3 divided by root 3 minus 1. And to solve it, you just multiply both numerator and denominator with root 3 plus 1. So if you use it, what will happen? Yeah, this is equals to 30 root 3 into root 3 plus 1 divided by root 3 minus 1 into root 3 plus 1. So this is 2. When you cancel, that will, you get it as 15 times root 3 into root 3 is 3 plus root 3. 15, 3 plus root 3 is the distance from the foot of the tower to the point A. Okay, just have a look. So the diagram is precious here in this problem actually. Okay, so just have a look. At the end your answer is 15 times of 3 plus root 3. Okay, there ends the problem. So ABC is a triangular park with AB is equals to AC is equals to 100 meters. A vertical tower is situated at the midpoint of BC. If the angle of elevations of the top of the tower at A and B are cot inverse 3 root 2 and cosecant inverse 2 root 2 respectively, we need to calculate the height of the tower. Once again, I will repeat the question, I will explain it. Actually, there is a triangular park, we name it as ABC. So, and for the triangular park, we have 3 sides. Among those 2 sides, AB and AC are equal as 100 meters. So, a vertical tower is situated at the midpoint of BC, and that top of that vertical tower is making 2 angle of elevations at A and B. Those angles are also given, and we need to calculate the height of the tower. Okay, so now you just look at the board, how to sketch its diagram. Okay, see, we need to imagine the diagram in a 3-dimensional way, but we are using 2-dimensional surface to sketch it, so you need to pay some attention. So for suppose if you treat it is the triangular park whose name it yeah, I will use this A, B, C. So this is a triangular park whose sides are AB and AC. As they mentioned, AB is 100 meters, AC is also 100 meters. So this is a park. At the midpoint of BC, you just take some point with the midpoint of BC. Take it as some M. M is the midpoint of BC. So at the midpoint of BC, a vertical tower like this is located. Okay. When you look at this vertical tower like this, that vertical tower will make some angle of elevation at A as well as some angle of elevation at B. Those angles are also given, and the question is asking us to find the height of that particular vertical tower. Okay. So what I am going to tell you is, if this is the vertical tower, if you join A and this top of the tower, some angle form at that A. If you join B and this vertical tower, some angle will form at that B. Actually, you need to imagine that. Okay. Once again, this is the vertical tower. You just join A to that point B. You just join B to that point A, like that we need to sketch it. So for the diagram, you just take that vertical tower as like this. So if you see, if you use the top of the vertical tower, in one way you need to join B at the top, in another way you need to join A at the top. But actually you need to imagine it like that. Okay, right. So I will show you separately. For suppose this vertical tower is this. If this is the vertical tower, A to M, and then A to the top of the vertical tower we need to join. Okay. So A to M, and then A to the top of the vertical tower we need to join. If this is the vertical tower, okay, you say at M we have the vertical tower, M to the A is a direct line, and you need to join A to the M, and this angle of elevation they given, you just take it as some alpha. Again, if this is the vertical tower, at M I have the vertical tower, M to B, and we need to join B on the top of the tower. So another diagram. At M we have the vertical tower. So from B again we need to look at the top of the tower. At B again there is some angle, you just say it as beta. So in these two cases, vertical tower is there at M. So we need to calculate its height, that is H. Okay, this is H actually. Okay, the top of the vertical tower, you just say it as N. So this Mn is the vertical tower. So this is N, as well as this is also N. That Mn we need to calculate. So if you say this as alpha and that is beta, those angles are also given in the problem. Okay, the question says that given alpha is equals to, so once I refer the question, the angle of elevation to the top of the tower at A and B. Okay, one angle is cot inverse 3 root 2. Alpha is cot inverse of 3 root 2. And what to say about beta? Beta is cosecant inverse of 2 root 2. Two angles are given. Alpha is cot inverse 3 root 2. Beta is cosecant inverse 3 root 2. And now we need to calculate the height of the tower. H we need to calculate. So that's the total task we need to do. Once again I explain for you. There is a triangular path ABC, and for the triangular path AB is 100, AC is 100. So these two are 100 and 100. Okay. And the next thing is what? So at the midpoint of BC, I have a vertical tower. So if you say the vertical tower as Mn, actually the vertical tower is in this way. So you need to join the top of the tower to A. So AM, the vertical tower, along this joining will make a right angle triangle like this. Okay. Mn is the tower. Right. So here alpha is the angle of elevation from A, and that alpha is cot inverse 3 root 2. In the same way the vertical tower, okay, and then vertex B and the angle of elevation joining these two, so we'll make another triangle. There the angle of elevation is beta, and that beta is cosecant inverse 2 root 2. We need to calculate what? We need to calculate height of the tower. Okay, just have a look how to solve. You just think once or twice, I will do it. Okay, just look at the board. How to solve? See, initially we don't know this AM, right? You just take this AM as some X. We don't have that BM. You just take that BM as Y. We need to calculate H. As they given, this implies cot alpha is equals to 3 root 2 and cosecant beta is equals to 2 root 2. Cot alpha is 3 root 2, cosecant beta is 2 root 2. Okay, cot alpha means how much? From this triangle, cot alpha is what? Cot alpha is adjacent side by opposite side. So adjacent side is X and opposite side is H. So X by H is equals to 3 root 2. And from there, what to say about cosecant beta? Okay, yeah. Cosecant beta is 2 root 2. So cosecant beta is actually what? Adjacent side, no, hypotenuse divided by the opposite side. Cosecant is hypotenuse by opposite side. So for this triangle to the beta, hypotenuse is bn, okay, divided by opposite side is how much? H is equals to 2 root 2. Okay. Further, how to solve? Just think about it. We need to calculate that H value at the end. So we have this particular relation, and that Bn also I will replace with the root of H square plus Y square. We know it, right? This is root of H square plus Y square. So I have a chance to replace this Bn with the root of H square plus Y square. So from this I will get a relation on X. From this I will get a relation on Y. But what is the relation on H and Y? Okay, so for that we need to utilize this 100 and 100. Just have a look once again. So if you have a triangle like this is a triangular park actually. So this is A, this is B, this is C, this is 100, this is 100. Okay, yeah, this point is M. As we mentioned, this AM is simply X and that BM is simply Y. Okay, since it is an isosceles triangle, in isosceles triangle that midpoint surely makes a perpendicular, and that's why here x, y along with 100 will make a right angle triangle. So x square plus y square is equals to 100 square is a clear thing. So here we have a relation between x and h. Here I have a relation between y and h. Here I have a relation between x and y. So by combining all these three, we need to eliminate that x and y. We need to get a relation in terms of h, and if you solve it, you will get the value of h. Okay? Yeah. How to simplify it? Just have a look. From this it is very clear that x is equals to 3 root 2h. And from there what you say about y square? So I will replace x with 3 root 2h whole square plus what you say about y square? Send h this side, do squaring on both sides, and then send h square that side. Okay? 2 root 2h whole square. What it is? 8 actually. 8h square. Sending h square that side. 7h square. So y square is simply nothing but 7h square is equals to 100 square. You just solve it. 3 root 2 means 3 square is 9. 9 2s is 18h square, and 7h square, 18 plus 7 is 25. 25h square is equals to 100 into 100. 25 fours is 100. So it is very clear now h is equals to 2 into 10, which is 20 meters. At the end, that's the height of the tower. Okay, just have a look. Okay. So at the end, overall, the problem is about a triangular park, okay, which is ABC. In the triangular park ABC, AB is 100, AC is 100. So I don't know the length of BC, but at the midpoint of that BCM, there is a vertical tower. That vertical tower is just look like this. It is outside of the triangular park. Okay. If this is the triangular park, vertical tower will stay like this. Okay. So this is the vertical tower. So we need to join the top of the vertical tower to A. Then from A, the angle of elevation is alpha. That in the sense, if this is the vertical tower, if you say the vertical tower as Mn, this vertical tower Mn, this AM, along with A and the top of the vertical tower joining AN, will make a right angle triangle like this. Okay. And in the same way, when you think from the side of B, again, the vertical tower from this and then BM and then B to N will make another right angle triangle. So I don't know this AM length, say it as X. I don't know this BM length, say it as Y. So since it is H and since it is Y, this is root of H square plus Y square. H is the height of the tower that we need to find. So the angle of elevations alpha and beta are given. Alpha is this cot inverse 3 root 2 and beta is that cosecant inverse 2 root 2. Okay. Since alpha is cot inverse 3 root 2, cot alpha is 3 root 2. And from there cosecant beta is 2 root 2. And cot alpha, from this triangle it is x by h, and cot, this is cosecant beta, from there root x square plus y square by h. Yeah. So also when you look at the diagram, an isosceles triangle ABC, so this x AM and this y BM along with this 100 will make a right angle triangle. So we have a relation that x square plus y square is equals to 100 square. So from these three you just eliminate x and y, get a relation in terms of h, which gives us the height of the tower as 20 meters. That's the problem. Okay, just have a look. two poles standing on a horizontal ground are of height 5 meters and 10 meters respectively. So very clear, there are two poles of height 5 meters and 10 meters. The line joining their tops makes an angle 15 degrees with the ground. The line joining their tops makes an angle 15 degrees with the ground, and we need to find the distance between the poles. Okay, the problem is very simple. Already we discussed this modeling, okay, in the last class also. So I will give you the diagram first. Two poles standing on a horizontal ground. For suppose you just treat this as the horizontal ground. On this ground there are two poles. One pole is of height 10 meters and the other pole is of height 5 meters. The poles are just perpendicular to the earth surface or the horizontal ground. Okay. Now the line joining the tops. So the top of the first tower as well as this is the top of the second tower. If you join these two tops, the line joining the tops make an angle 15 degrees with the ground. So makes an angle 15 with the ground in the sense you just take a parallel line to the horizontal ground and you need to indicate here it has 15 degrees. There ends the task. And now we need to find the distance between the poles. See, if you just say this is pole 1 and there is pole 2, the distance between the poles is d. That d we need to calculate. Okay. Once again the question is very simple. This is tower 1, pole 1 and this is pole 2. This length is 10 meters and this length is 5 meters. If you join the top of the poles, it makes an angle 15 with the horizontal ground. 15 with the horizontal ground, that word we need to understand. So it makes an angle 15 degrees with the horizontal means it makes an angle 15 degrees with a line parallel to horizontal. That's enough. Okay. So this is 15 degrees. And now, yeah, you just extend it. Okay. You just, for suppose this is some mark, it also perpendicular. Since this distance is d, take it as d. This total length of the pole is 10 and this length of the pole is 5. That in turn represents that. So this is 5 as well as this is 5. I need to calculate d actually. Okay. So for this triangle you just apply tan now. From the diagram, tan 15 degrees is equals to opposite side by hypotenuse. So what is the value of tan 15 degrees? That's what we need to know. The value of tan 15 degrees is what? It may be, I think so, root 3 minus 1 by root 3 plus 1. And that is equals to 5 by d. Since I need the value of d, distance between the poles, you just make d as a subject. D is equals to 5 times of root 3 plus 1 by root 3 minus 1. Further we need to simplify it just by multiplying with root 3 plus 1 on both sides. So the denominator will become, see, you just do simplification. 5 times of, okay, root 3 plus, you just do the simplification part actually. So this is equals to 5 times of root 3 plus 1 divided by root 3 minus 1 into, you just multiply the numerator and denominator with root 3 plus 1 just to avoid the irrational part in the denominator. Now this is 2 whereas the numerator is root 3 plus 1 whole square. So that is equals to 5 times of root 3 plus 1 whole square is 4 plus 2 root 3. 4 plus 2 root 3 and divided by 2. So on simplification this is 5 times of 2 plus root 3 is your answer. At the end the distance between the poles is 5 times of 2 plus root 3. Okay, just have a look. JEE Main 2019 from heights and distance. Okay, just look at the problem. The problem is about two vertical poles of heights 20 meters and 80 meters stand apart on a horizontal plane. The height of the point of intersection of the, okay, be careful in reading this. Okay, point of intersection of line joining the top of each pole to the foot of the other. What it is? The height of the point of intersection of lines joining top of each pole to the foot of the other from this horizontal plane is dash. That is what we need to find. Okay. So usually the problem needs a diagram. So in the problem there involves a horizontal plane along with two vertical poles. Okay. You just have a look. For suppose if this is the horizontal plane, on this horizontal plane we have two vertical poles. One pole is of height 80 meters and the other pole is of height 20 meters. Okay, right, just look there. See, this is a pole, okay, which is straight and then perpendicular to the horizontal plane, and you just take this is another pole, okay, right. As they mentioned, one pole is of height 20 meters and the other pole is of height 80 meters, right, very good. And then they are stand apart on a horizontal plane, okay. The height of the point of intersection of the lines joining the top of each pole to the foot of the other, okay. From this top of the pole, I need to join this foot of the tower, this foot of the pole. And again, from this top of the pole, I have to join to the foot of the other, okay. So for suppose if I join the top of second pole to the foot of first pole, as well as the top of first pole to the foot of second pole, okay. So two lines will form. I need to identify the point of intersection of the line joining top of each pole to the foot of other. So top of each pole to the foot of other, if I join, this is the point of intersection, you just say it as P, and then just name one pole as AB and the other pole as CD, okay. AB is one pole of height 20 meters, CD is the other pole of height 80 meters, and P is the point of intersection of the poles, okay. What we need to find? As per the problem, we need to find the height of P from the horizontal plane, okay. The question asks us to find the height of the point of intersection of the lines joining the top of each pole to the foot of the other, okay. So if you say this height as some h, okay, or take this point as q, from this information AB and 80 we need to calculate h. That's our part, okay. So there ends the diagram from the question. I will erase it and then I will discuss the problem. Once again, just read the question. Two vertical poles, okay, of height 20 and 80, okay, stand on a horizontal plane, right. So the height of the point of intersection of the line joining top of each pole to the foot of the other, we need to find that particular height h, okay. Just look at the problem, how to solve. See, and no angle of elevations are involved here actually, okay. Only heights are given as 20 and 80, and we need to find height of P from the horizontal plane. You just treat it as some h for our convenience, right. Now to solve the problem, first of all, yeah, see, I will consider this length as some x, okay, and I will take this part as some y, okay. This is x and this is y, okay, and then I need to consider some angles. So I will consider this angle as some alpha, angle of elevation, and this angle as beta, okay. So this angle is alpha and this angle is beta. Now by observing this diagram, we need to write tan alpha, tan beta and everything for different right angle triangles, okay. So here PQ is also just perpendicular to the horizontal plane, and we need to find that h. So when you apply right angle triangle, see, tan alpha for the small triangle PBQ, okay, just look there, triangle PBQ is a right angle triangle. From there, tan alpha is equals to opposite side by adjacent side. So this is h, this is x, tan alpha is h by x. Again, when you look at the total triangle like BCD, from that total triangle tan alpha is simply nothing but opposite side. Opposite side of alpha is the total length 80 divided by the adjacent side of this triangle is x plus y. Okay, I have two results for tan alpha. Similarly, you just think about this smaller triangle, triangle DPQ, and from the triangle what you say about tan beta. Tan beta is equals to h by y, okay, this h by this y. And then when you apply tan beta for this total triangle DAB, okay, now for the triangle DAB, tan beta is equals to opposite side of beta is 20 divided by adjacent side of beta for the total triangle is again x plus y. Our intention is to find h. We need to eliminate x and y. We need to get involvement of 20 and 80. Okay. So these two parts are equal, very clear. As well as these two parts are also equal. Okay. Because tan alpha, tan beta, tan beta. When these two are equal, what we do? You just go with the usual cross multiplication. Okay. Yeah. Just think about it, the way of solving. So from there, h by x is equals to 80 divided by x plus y. And from this, h by y is equals to 20 divided by x plus y. So it is very clear, when you cross multiply, h into x plus y is equals to 80x, and here again h into x plus y is equals to 20y. So when you look at these two at a time, okay, yeah, from there, therefore h times of x plus y is equals to 80x is equals to 20y. When you look at these two once again, 4x is equals to y I have. So we have a relation between y and x. So use that relation and try to get the value of h. Okay. Therefore, h by x is equals to 80 divided by x plus 4x. Instead of y, you just replace 4x. So x plus 4x is how much? 5x, and h will get cancelled, and your answer is 16 actually. Okay. Once again I repeat for you. H by x is equals to 80 divided by 5x. X and x get cancelled, and the value of h is 16. So the height from the horizontal plane is 16 meters. Okay. There ends the problem. Just have a look.